What? Oh, what's really happening? This is what's really happening. And this is Luke with another. Oh, it says I'm going live too. Awesome, awesome. The, the yeah, with the Paul Lush. Wow. Wait. So this is new for me. The Paul number. We're going number one or number two.
I'll be number two. He's the main man.
Well, what I want to say was number two instead of your full name because I wanted to talk about something I wasn't going to start with, but just jog my memory here about Panda Slim.
Panda Slim. That's my singing name. If I sing, my name is Panda Slim. Otherwise, it's Paul Lo Scavio.
Lo Scavio. It's
Italiano.
You go like you go like this, yeah.
Exactly.
So you must be single.
I am.
Because Italian women are crazy. Oh, but they're fun. No.
All of the above. All of the above.
They're just, I had to say fun because that sounds bad when you say they're. Does that sound bad if you say they're crazy?
If you use the Italian word pazzo, it's a little less bad. So pazzo.
Because I mean, I usually think you crazy.
I like crazy. Crazy's good to me.
Yeah. Like when they're trying to kill you, you hold their arms back, and then all of a sudden you fall into like passionate love.
Exactly. Italians are crazy in a good way. I mean that in a good way. It's craziness for life. It's a good crazy.
Yeah, like I mean they can cook.
Hell yeah.
But they get very upset if you don't appreciate their cooking enough.
True.
Which might get you killed too.
That could happen. You got to be careful.
So with all that said, you don't prefer dating also Italian.
No preference. I've dated a few Italian ladies though, and I like this. Having the culture in common is fun.
Okay.
I studied the language many years ago. By no means fluent, but I'm conversant. I studied and was just in Italy last month or March, first week of March. Spent a few days in Venice, and then went and saw my sister up in Hamburg, Germany. So got to shoot a few videos from my my mindfulness Instagram page when I was in Venice, and that's always fun. So love Italy, that's for sure.
Yeah, the mindfulness. I had some questions coming in. Oh, it's great. We didn't have to just go straight random. I was going to talk about fucking tables and foot fetish. And I put on my leather jacket I haven't worn in a while.
Nice.
And I realized I was prepared that day I got ran over. I was because that's the jacket I wore. I didn't know till now that I had my mace in one pocket and my pepper spray in the other pocket.
Okay.
Which I don't know if that makes me sound even weaker that I was prepared to take on those guys. Instead, I used my fists. And
I'm all about being prepared. I carry some pepper spray myself. So the other thing I do is I teach safety. I teach several safety topics, and in fact, I'm teaching on different kinds of safety, first aid, fire extinguishers, active shooter, workplace violence, things of that nature. So I'm teaching workplace violence in a couple of days over in Berkeley.
So you're not teaching how to take down the person. You're talking about how
more preparation, and what do you do? For example, in the active shooter, what do you do if you have an active shooter on site? What do you do in those cases?
Probably helps, yeah, because a lot of people are probably thinking we got to get that guy, but we can't. So wait, we still want to get no, can't, and then they just don't know what to do.
There you go. First option's run, second option's hide, third option's fight. If it comes down to fight, you got to fight like nobody's business. You got to fight like that's your only option, and you don't mess around.
Do you find that a lot different than the earthquake drill they do in schools? Maybe that's what people are used to, because that's what I see. Either people running away in single file line, or I have actually. It seems like I've seen people go under their desk in active shooters, and that's it's probably they could still see you under your desk.
So what you do depends on the situation. Your first option is always, if you can, it's a way to get out, not be there. That's your best option. That you don't have that as an option. Exits blocked, then hiding, and that can be life-saving. You get behind something, you're not seen. Ideally, something that could stop a bullet's even better. And then finally, if you're in a room hiding and they're coming through the door, you gotta fight. You gotta take action. So
yeah, however you can. I mean, you can kind of make that desk fall in front of you, and the desks are only so big.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about schools, but then again, there was a mall shooting too.
We just had one, yeah.
That Texas is getting a little crazy.
Yeah. They've had an inordinate number of active shooter events, and recently, quite a number in the last year or so.
Yeah, no, so you're more blue, more the Democrat, right?
Yeah, I'm definitely on that side of the on that side of
Yeah,
the.
no, I
Yeah.
see. You don't like the Trump and
No, no,
oh yeah,
that's an understatement. But yes,
here we
yes.
go. I feel like I feel like we're vibing, but then guy says anything you say won't be edited, uncensored. Anything you want to say, it is as is. Why do we have to go through that? I don't know.
That's all right.
Man. I
Good to
don't
know.
It's
Good
'cause I
reminder.
feel like we got to keep we got to start doing that kind of stuff.
Good reminder.
Weird, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, the active okay. What I'm getting at is it does seem like there's kind of a shift. The red states are getting hit now with stuff.
Yeah, it's really interesting because I was just funny you should say it. I was listening to a news report this morning, and it was talking about availability of guns and where we're seeing active shooter events. And it's hard to draw direct correlations, but we are seeing a lot of incidents in states where there is easy access to guns. Not to say there aren't active shooter events in blue states. There certainly are. So
I was totally. There's certain times where I totally vibe with how it's like, the blue states, they're all the crime, but well, plus that's state I'm in. But then it seems like they're shift. Like all of a sudden, it's then the red states. It's kind of is there kind of like a play going on here?
yeah,
Is
it's.
there do you think there's a political play here, or is that just
I don't know.
conspiracy stuff?
I don't know. I don't know. This is so little rhyme or reason to what we see with these active shooter events, and you know, one person access to weapons and mentally not right, and so much damage can be done by one person in such a short period of time. It's scary. It really is scary.
Well, yeah, we had well, every day if you just Google mass shooting, like
Yeah.
Redwood City, there was one. I think it was just yesterday,
Yeah, it's scary.
and then yeah, the mall.
Malls, schools, recent events with not even using weapons, using vehicles, plowing into people with vehicles. I mean, you can.
They said the guy just ran a red light. He wasn't even under the influence.
Yeah, I
It
don't
sounded like.
don't know the particular one there. The most recent one, whether that's intentional or they haven't done all the research on it, but there have been cases where people have used vehicles for the same purpose. It's scary, but I mean, on the one hand, notwithstanding how much we see these things in the news, statistically speaking, they're actually not that common. In other words, your likelihood of being in an active shooter event is not very high at all. It really is. But we hear about every single event, or almost every single event. So it puts it at the forefront of our minds, perhaps more
Well,
than
it's
yeah,
everything's
more
out there
than
more with
yeah.
the media.
Yeah,
Like
right.
before
So
that, there's probably all this craziness you just don't hear about.
Yeah. I mean, statistically speaking, any of us are far more likely to be killed by a drunk driver than a whole lot of other things, right? I mean, every day, day in, day out, we have drunk driver deaths. So they don't make the news. But anyway, it's, part of my mission is safety, and I love it because I love helping people get prepared, whether it's first aid, active shooter. I do work in heat illness, a few different areas. So I work for a safety training company, and then I do my own work in mindfulness on the side as well. So. And one of the sessions I teach is called mindfulness for safety. If you think about when someone's using a saw and cuts their finger off accidentally, for example, it's usually that they knew how to use the saw, and the saw didn't break. It's that they weren't paying attention to what they were doing. Right? Very often accidents, lack of safety is typically around mindlessness, around a lack of focus on what you're doing. So many injuries and deaths come from just lack of focus, lack of attention. So I like to teach mindfulness in that context as well.
I think this might come from that. I gotta get the questions coming. And what are your core values, and what are you grateful for? Yeah, this was what people wanted to ask you.
Really? That's a great
From
question.
some reason that came from the mindfulness. So
Well,
you just brought
I
it.
love it. Great question. It's core values. I would say honesty and honesty to oneself. I think the most important thing is can you be honest with yourself? I got into mindfulness 14, 15 years ago in a serious way around weight loss and carried around about 65, 70 extra pounds of weight for about 20 years and dealt with that about 13 years ago now. But part of that is just being honest with yourself and really being willing to look at yourself and being mindful and paying attention to what you're doing, looking at your habits, looking at your daily activities. And I say this, I used food for 20 years the way some people have a problem with alcohol. I just chose a different drug.
So
My drug was food.
you were depressed.
Depression, anxiety, boredom. You use food to deal with all those things. The way some people, have a problem with alcohol. Just
That
different
ice cream
different
could
drug.
be good.
That's right. And the thing is, it's effective. I mean, the reality is, if you're under stress or depressed, food does help in those regards. The problem is it has this horrible side effect on your health. And so I carried around a lot of extra weight for 2 decades, for about 20 years, from about 89 to 2009. But then I got into mindfulness around 2009 and slowly found a way to stop using food in the wrong way. So being honest with yourself is a core value, I think, is being mindful and paying attention to answer that person's question. There was one other question I forgot they asked.
Did we get to the what are you grateful?
Grateful for, yeah. Health, just my health, health of first of all, the health of my children. I got 2 kids. They're happy and healthy.
So you do have kids.
I do. I have 21-year-old daughter, junior in college, 21-year-old daughter, junior in college, and a 16-year-old son, junior in high school. And both doing great, healthy and happy, and great kids. So that's the number one thing I'm grateful for, their health and their happiness. And then my own health and my own happiness. So you have anything beyond that, I mean, that's all you need.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, usually I'm like, well, why? And you know what? Okay. Usually, but I feel like you actually seem like you're good with your kids. But I'll go for it anyway. So why did you want kids? What is this? What made you think?
That's a great question. Why did I want kids? So I actually was married. My ex and I were married for 9 years before we decided to have kids, which is really rare. Most of the time, people get married and have kids within a couple of years. And we decided we really
feel like they have to.
Well, there's a lot of pressures, and people expect it, and all those sorts of things. And we waited 9 years intentionally till we both were in a position where we really wanted to have kids and thought we were ready as people to do that. So I'm 56, and my daughter's 21. My son is 16. So I had kids a little bit older in life, even though I was engaged when I was 20 and married when I was 25, and so I was married fairly young, but decided to wait. And so why? It's a great question. Why did I want to have kids? I hope you like to think there's not ego involved, and it's not about you. That you really do just want to bring another life into the world. But and we got lucky. I wanted to have a boy and a girl, and that's exactly what we got. And
wow,
just it's my favorite thing to be as a dad. It's my
so you
favorite
saw what
thing.
you're getting yourself into, at least.
Yeah, no, we knew, and we chose it, and we're blessed to have healthy, happy kids. So you can't beat that.
So that's the difference between the ego thing. You saw what you were getting yourself into.
Yeah.
I see certain people, like my dad. They guys, different than the women. It seems like they got that hormonal thing.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta have the kids. Something inside my stomach before I even have that thing inside my stomach. It just makes me. I think it's the stomach right there. That's all you know about that stuff. I don't know why I act like he could get pregnant. I'm just posing there.
So many kids I probably could at this point, Luke, but thank you.
Maybe because he's had a lot of kids. Yeah, I mean it's something in there. It's like I gotta have kids. Oh my gosh, it sounds like almost such a craving. And then so the difference for guys, it seems like they don't get that. Instead, it's like more like as if like when guys puff their chest and suck it in, they feel like I want to have a kid to see if what my sperm could make. And then I might not show up after that. Who knows? But I want to see what my sperm could do.
There's
I like to see mine die if that.
There you go.
You know, but I mean, it's weird how that's the difference. So yeah, it's like to hear someone like you. That's why one reason I asked that. I hear people that seem like they thought it out.
Yeah, definitely thought it out. And if a universe willing, knock wood, if my kids decide to have kids, I'm very careful. I do not want to ever say, oh, I want grandkids. I do want to have grandkids, if and only if my kids want to have kids. Because we waited 9 years before my ex and I decided to have kids. And, a lot of people pressuring you to do this, that, and the other. So I'm never going to do that to my kids. And if they choose not to have children, awesome, good for them. That's But if they do, I would love to be a grandfather. It would be fantastic. But if they don't, that's all good too. I'm already a granduncle twice, so that's a lot of fun. So
granduncle.
Okay. A grunkle.
A
Granduncle.
granduncle.
A grunkle.
So you really don't want that? I mean, you really don't mind, or
Oh, I love it. Oh,
if they have kids?
Oh, I'd love it.
Not?
I got to be
You don't mind if they don't.
Really, if they do, wonderful. If they don't, that's their call. It's their life.
What
They
if
got to
they
do with it.
adopt?
That's awesome too. I have an adopted niece. That's totally awesome.
Okay.
Yeah,
That'd
that'd be awesome.
That's like doing something good.
Heck yeah, it is. Absolutely,
That's
it is.
just the way I see it. Instead of people, as a kid, seem like people make the kids.
Yeah,
A lot of times, I mean, I get
huge
it.
need for adoption. Huge need.
Yeah,
for
I
adoption.
get a lot of people don't want to think in life, and the best thing to do, you could adopt, because you could do that at any age, even if you're what's considered an old person in society. And you can adopt, and that kid will be grateful because that kid just wanted to be out of whatever situation the kid was in.
Yeah,
And
no doubt about it.
give
And
some-
living through foster care is a tough life, and I have a friend that basically spent his whole youth in the foster care system, and happily he was treated well, and he's a great person, but that's a tough life. If we can be adopted, if kids can be adopted even when they're a little bit older, and that's the harder thing too. When kids are older, oftentimes they're not adopted as much. And no, I think adoption is an amazing thing.
I kind of wonder if that would have happened to me. Like that. So you're talking about foster home. I wonder if my mom didn't come in time when I was in the foster home. I wonder if I would have been adopted. I want to see my options here. Who would adopt me? I just want to be in that. How does adoption go? So you adopted. How did that get?
No, I did not adopt. No,
You
I
said
did not. My older sister adopted.
Were you there? Do you know how it goes?
I mean, not.
Is
I
there
don't
like
know
a
the
glass
details of the process.
window, and there's a bunch of kids on the other side, and you choose and they take like the kid into another room, and you get like play with it for a little bit.
I don't know. That's in the case of my sister. It was a family friend that had an unwanted pregnancy, and it was just one of these amazing things that matched up. My sister and her husband wanted to have a kid, but needed to go through the adoption process. And right at that time, a family friend had a young couple that were going to have a child that wasn't intended, and it was just this perfect, amazing match. And they just set it up so that they did not have to go through any kind of system like what you're describing. I think what you're describing, I mean, to one extent or another, does exist, but in the case of my sister, it just was this amazing coincidence.
Yeah, I don't know how it actually goes.
How it goes, yeah,
I've
I don't know
never
either,
been
to be honest.
there. Maybe there should be like a spin-off show where I go inside there.
There could be a sitcom in there somewhere.
But no, I was. I think it was like one of those temporary foster homes.
Okay.
I was taken away because we were like living in a car.
Okay.
Like, oh no, a kid can't be living in a car. That's where the good old days where a kid's not supposed to be living in a certain situation.
Right.
I mean, my mom was a good mom, but I see kids out there with their, or I guess it's their mom. I see women out there with kids with signs that need help, and like, why is that kid? Isn't that child labor or something? I thought we don't do that.
A lot of tough situations in the city, in particular. We see it a lot. It's just it's too bad. We see so much poverty and so many people in need especially in I see a lot in San Francisco and Oakland and Berkeley and Richmond. And,
Okay, so so SF and Oakland, a little different, right? Have you noticed differences? What are the differences to you?
Well, I mean, it's differences and similarities. I mean, it's funny. I work. Most of the people that I work with are employees at city and county agencies all over the Greater Bay Area, and So I get pretty good exposure to a lot of different cities, and one of the things that seems pretty consistent is this homeless situation and how difficult a problem it is
Yeah.
with homeless encampments, and just not a lot of great options for folks, and trying to deal with the safety aspects of it, to try and do it in a humane fashion, to try and um, you know find a way to take care of people, being safe at the same time. It just seems like it's an increasingly large problem. Homelessness and homeless encampments, and
Well, I don't know.
just I see so much of it now.
So
It's just too bad.
Oakland seems to say I was mind blown by how Oakland downtown
Mm.
looks really nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I see they're kicking out the encampments.
Mhm.
They say they're doing sweeps. Or they said what seven. There was a lot of junk they had to get rid of.
Yeah.
And so versus San Francisco, seems like they don't want to do that.
Mm.
But I do think people kind of get accustomed to a certain lifestyle with where they are mentally. I at least see San Francisco. Well, from the San Francisco side of things, they get rid of dealers, then we can figure out who's who with addicts versus homeless, and then mentally ill.
Yeah.
Then you got rehab. Then you got open up mental asylums, and then you can solve the issue. What do you think about mental asylums? Things.
Well, I don't know too much about it in terms of institutionalized folks that need to be in sort of permanent settings. I'm not too
forced.
familiar with it, but it's there's no question that with homelessness, oftentimes we do have problems with mental illness, and there can be issues around safety around that, with regard to being in those communities, being safe. It's a difficult problem.
So I
difficult
suppose you're
problem.
probably not into forced.
Oh, not at all. Yeah, no, it's but
See, I see that. I'm like, yeah, well, just like the welfare checks, if they seem, mentally not there, force them. So I just haven't heard the other side. How? So what would you suggest in these kind of areas? We haven't hit a brick wall. There got to be some.
yeah, I don't
some
know. I
ideas
don't know
there.
what as far as we know, we have mental health issues, and on the one hand, one of the things that's, in my opinion, in the last decade or so, it's a lot more acceptable for people to talk about some of the mental health issues they might be having. So there's a little more acceptance around the idea that people need help, and I think it's a little bit easier for folks now than maybe it was 20 years ago to say, hey, I need some help. But it does seem like it's just a tremendous problem, and it touches all the things we've talked about. Obviously, the mental health is going to be a big component of the active shooter in the workplace violence stuff we talked about. We see it a lot in homeless situations. So how we can invest more money and more efforts into making those services available to people. I'm not big on the idea of forcing anyone into that, but to make it available for those that need it.
That seems to be the problem with me. I gotta invest some money. Park your brakes, sort of like make sure you just don't go out, because as it is, it seems like just plans itself is a money investment. You get people together, got to plan this out. All right, we spent that money. Now, oops, not enough for the actual putting action into it.
Yeah. It's got to be spent wisely, and it's difficult. It's not a simple problem. I mean, it's
they're talking about the reparations now. What if they just put that into the black communities instead of they did an okay on their reparations? And at least I think just San Francisco.
I don't know too much about it. I just heard something about the reparations issue in California. Just literally heard something yesterday about it for the first time. I don't know anything about it though, as far as what the details of that are. I don't know if they're at the point where they have details at this point.
So there's some kind of okay about it.
I'm not too sure. I just heard it mentioned yesterday for the first time. So,
Yeah, but seems like we got a lot of just. It seems like the mental illness going on, and when it comes to, I got some more kind of question that came in here.
Okay.
Wait. Oh, grateful for. What's a day you'd love to go back and relive again?
A day I would love to go back
People are
and
getting on the
relive.
mindfulness questions here.
That's a great question. To relive a day. That's a great question. I have to think about that for a second. Go back and relive a day. Man,
That's.
I mean,
I see you getting.
I don't have
you
too many.
smiling over there.
I
It's
don't
gotta be
have
some
too
good
many. I don't
stuff.
have too many that I would do over. I can't think of ones that oh, I wish I could do that. But the happy days, the days that you just want to experience one more time. I mean, dozens of things around, stuff going on with my kids and different. I can remember so clearly the day both my kids were born. Those were awesome days. Yeah, it flashed into my head son's first little league at bat. That was a fun day. First at bat in a little league game. He was 6 years old. A lot of stuff like that. That's as a dad, so many days like that that you go back and experiences things they did that were a lot of fun.
Yeah, kids need fathers in their lives.
It's ideal. I mean,
All right, Dad, you hear that? Kids need fathers in their lives.
yeah, but it's. I know what you mean. At the same time, one of the things I like now in societies, we do have families of different kinds and blended families and sometimes kids have two moms and sometimes kids have two dads and that works out great too. So it's great that we live in a time when we're a lot more accepting of that.
You're talking about the same sex.
Yeah, same sex pairing, whatever it might be.
See, there's always some balance. So I feel odd, but I mean, I don't. None of my real business really with people having kids same sex that can't have that can't make kids because they're same sex. I feel like they should adopt. Like there must be a reason there, but so I guess there's always a balance. So I'm like, well, if they adopt, that's doing a good thing.
Absolutely. So
All these views, there should be a way like we talk about liberal, conservative. What should be there was a time when both parties seemed closer.
Well, you've absolutely. I mean, there's no question in my view that people have never been farther apart philosophically, and as far as the red versus blue, certainly not in my lifetime. And I think you're going back to like the Civil War. Last time red and blue were as far apart as they are right now. So I'm going out there. I'm a little bit out there, but when Trump came into office, I refer to myself now.
Yeah.
I refer to myself as a Californian and a citizen of the world. I no longer call myself American, and I no longer want.
Oh
that
wow, you gave up.
I'm a Californian and I'm a citizen of the world. That's how I view myself.
Okay.
And I love California, though. I love all things California. I love California road trips. I love driving up and down this state. But I don't have a lot in common with a lot of other parts of the country. And
Okay.
is that a good thing? Is it a bad thing?
That.
Yeah, that's just sort of where I come from. I'm a Californian, and I love and I like to think in terms of global perspectives on things.
Well, I get that.
Yeah.
One thing I guess I'm irritated with that is more probably from your side. What you're getting? People say, "Oh, California is nothing but poop and fentanyl and everything I explain is pretty much what they see out here in the Tenderloin."
Mm-hmm.
And even though some people might not think it's so bad, I mean the thing is, why they describe it just here?
Yeah.
Like, these are so yeah. I hate when that's when I'll start defending the city. Like, I mean, really, or California, yeah. Because I mean, have you guys not been anywhere else in California?
Yeah. Well, I mean, California, it's we got everything. I mean, and we've got it's incredible how diverse the state is. We have crime and poverty and all of the things that you're going to have in every major urban area, and we have incredible beauty. We've got mountains, we got snow, we got beaches, what don't we have in California? So I just love it.
I'm just so when I see the Newsom all his posts,
Mm-hmm.
because you see California, we gotta talk about this guy, and I feel like tired of he keeps just talking about other states like
Mhm.
Florida, Texas, what's going on there. I get it. I could watch the news, but why aren't you focused on California, right
California,
here?
yeah.
I don't. I, I can't you just ignore the conservatives and just talk about this place and how well you want to build California and make it great and
Yeah.
act like those problems don't exist in the other places.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so it's an interesting question. Is really when you look at it, to what extent does the United States make sense anymore? To what extent does it make sense for Californians to be affiliated with or otherwise tied to people in red states that don't want anything to do with Californians? I mean, people don't want anything to do with Californians. I got no problem with that. We would be the fifth or sixth largest economy in the world all by ourselves.
Still
California
California.
by itself is roughly the size of Germany and France. Germany, France, and California as separate entities are all about the same size.
We got a lot of businesses moving.
Yeah, some moving out, some moving in, but California would do fine all by itself. And I hope to be 100 years old. Hope to live to be exactly 100.
Ooh.
And in my lifetime,
be
I
there.
hope to see an independent California. I'd like to see California as its own sovereign, the independent Republic of California. People sometimes look at me and say that can't possibly happen. Maybe not, but
Yeah, I
Maybe
don't know. So when you say in
20, 30 years from now, I mean, California is a separate
When you
entity.
say that,
Well, separate entity,
Separate.
not any kind of violent. I'm talking about like a legal, like peaceful. California goes and becomes its own entity, separate and apart from the United States. Texas has talked about leaving. Georgia, some people in Georgia talk about leaving. Hey, no problem with that. There's no. What's the benefit of, in my opinion, what's the benefit of all these states being put together as one thing? What's the benefit?
Yeah,
Do we
as,
need?
as long as we have the freedom to travel to other places.
Yeah,
I mean, do
exactly.
we really need to? What is it? Do business with the other places? I mean, so strongly. I guess like we could pick a phone, and be like, hey, what's going on over there? All right.
Yeah.
But it seems like, especially if people have different views.
Yeah, I don't need to convince anyone in red states to, but I don't like the idea that a Supreme Court that is basically oversees California and limits what California can do, and that Supreme Court is way out of step with what most
So
Californians
maybe I
do.
don't understand that. You're talking about like, well, you might be talking about a lot of things. But
Yeah.
Are you getting at like the women's rights?
A lot of different things.
So
lot of
things
different
like
things.
this is why I don't understand the Newsom guy, because California will never be like that. So why are we tripping about the
other states?
what they're considering the anti-women's rights and the
Right.
abortion issues, when California is going to be just California? That's
Well,
never going to change.
Hopefully,
Right.
hopefully that is the case where we don't have Supreme Court come down and say, oh no, or there is talk of at the federal level some that want to ban abortion on a nationwide level. I mean, it's amazing. At the same time, we have people at the nationwide level wanting to protect abortion,
Yeah.
and others at the nationwide level wanting to ban it. And neither of those things has happened yet.
Just
But
just leave it up to each state,
individual
right?
state, right?
And if you choose to go somewhere else that have certain laws you don't agree with, then just whatever.
Yeah.
I've
So
been-
the question is just, what to me is what benefit you see a lot of benefit to the red states when California funds money coming from California funds a huge part of the federal government. New York and California. A lot of the money for the federal government comes from New York and California, two giant blue states, and then you get a lot of red states that don't actually contribute a lot of money to the federal government, but get a lot of money back, right? So California is definitely a donor state. We definitely give a lot more than
We gotta stop
get.
that.
Yeah,
Why
that's
are
what I'm
we
saying.
doing
California all by itself is a pretty good sized country.
this? See,
So I'm in favor of it. Hopefully it'll happen in my lifetime. I'd be ecstatic if I saw
well, see,
it.
I'm a lot more conservative, and I don't understand why we're doing that. Why are we giving so much money to the other places?
Goes to the federal government and gets doled out however it gets doled out.
The Vegas seems like they want to be California,
Vegas.
or at least us, the
Yeah.
Bay Area.
Yeah.
I mean, they're starting a California museum.
Okay,
was
okay.
Out there. and
Oh, I didn't know that.
They
So-
took our A's. They took our.
Oh yeah.
Well, I don't care about the Rays, but they took them.
Poor
uh,
Oakland. God. 3, 4, 5 years ago, Oakland had Warriors, A's, and the Raiders. And we're gonna have none of them here pretty soon.
Yeah, so the East Bay is going to get crazier. And you're going to
Yeah.
have nothing else to support.
Yeah.
So you don't want to drive there. They're just going to have more sideshows. But the Bay, this side of the Bay, we're good. We got the Niners still.
Yeah.
Phew. But then we got, I don't know who else. San Jose Earthquakes.
Earthquake, soccer,
Yeah.
Sharks.
Okay.
Now I'm a Miami Dolphins fan myself. Have been since 1972.
So they lost you there. Okay.
Yeah, so they lost me, but that's all right.
Yeah, Vegas, it's become, they want to be like California, but people don't realize the California is going over. They don't realize what happens in Vegas. Could stay there.
As the saying goes.
It doesn't.
As the saying goes.
You could stay there, though. I mean, you could stay there. What happened? Like, you might not make it out. I've been watching a lot of Las Vegas jail,
Yeah.
and the food looks worse than California.
Food?
Yeah, the food looks worse. I actually saw them. I thought it was just the movies. I don't know. Maybe I never went down the line. I guess I always just had my tray. Maybe I just
I've been
forgot,
to
but
Vegas a few times. I had a great
they-
time.
Did you ever go to the jail out there? 'Cause,
No.
The food, they just slop it on your.
Ah,
Does not look good. And
no.
I mean, I love Vegas myself.
Yeah.
But it's got some crazy moments. See what I was watching it this morning. And the guy spit on another guy in handcuffs.
Oh man.
Man, what is this? I mean, yeah, you know, he had to wipe his face, and it's like, geez,
That's not good.
then, oh, it seemed like they target the busting the Johns and the sex workers out because everyone thinks it's legalized.
Okay.
Not cool, right?
Yeah.
Not cool. Well, okay, but this is what I did. I was thinking, I don't know what's it say, arm penis. That's got nothing to do with that. But okay, I was watching this morning, and this guy said, "I'm from San Francisco." He was getting arrested, and he said, "I'm from San Francisco," and he said, "I'm not a loser," and then he said, "Because I read books."
Okay.
So that's how we need. So that's how we become smart out here in the Bay Area, right? We read the books.
Books. It's funny. I love documentaries. I'm a huge learner on YouTube. I love documentaries on YouTube, and I just am amazed by how much I don't dislike reading.
No,
I do a lot of reading. I don't read books. I read them on phone. I use my phone
Kindle.
a lot, the Kindle and things like that,
Oh.
articles and things like that. But I love to learn YouTube documentaries. There's so many great ones. So I love to research things on YouTube, and people do multimedia presentations, whether it's ancient history or whatever it might be. I love learning via YouTube documentaries. My favorite ways to learn.
You seem like a really smart guy.
I don't know.
You were
I
on
do okay.
you were on the sex show though, right?
Section? What's that?
Wasn't that when was that you were on Amanda's show? That was the sex show, right? Or was it?
Oh, well,
That was a sex show,
Amanda
right?
Rocks. I mean, it was a show that touched on some of those themes or whatever, and I sat in on a few of her shows, so I wasn't.
Did you ever read the stories?
Which
it was
ones?
like I used to send her little stories.
The stories, yeah. Oh, yeah. You were the one that was okay. They caught you with the stories, yeah. Amanda Rocks, great person.
Was that Afternoon Delight?
Afternoon Delight. That's exactly
So-
the show. That's exactly the
one
show.
night we were at this.
I co-hosted with her a couple times on Afternoon Delight.
Yeah, that's how I got to follow you on that.
Yeah.
One night we were at the FC. They call it the FCC radio.
Yeah.
They call it that. And we were at this Christmas party. I like the box wine. I was drinking the box wine.
There you go.
It's not like this. It's you get a you push the button.
Okay.
It comes out. It's
Out
like
of a box.
spigot. It has this thing and then that.
All right.
And we went for a walk, and then we were doing the karaoke. We were going to do the karaoke. It wasn't going on. I'm like, oh, well, the sex thing up there, it looks like it's some orientation. It was like, yeah, I was filming upstairs, and we checked it out. And then I guess that's when got the idea for the Afternoon Delight.
Afternoon Delight.
The sex show. And I guess now that I think of it, it came from a song too.
Right after that Afternoon Delight. Amanda's a very good singer. I don't know if you ever heard her sing. Ever heard her sing?
No,
She
no,
runs
yeah,
karaoke and does karaoke. She's also a very talented singer.
She got me into doing the karaoke.
Love
Well,
it.
she was like probably second person. Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah, she's over at that there Colorado.
Is she in Colorado?
Yeah.
I haven't talked to her in a while, so she's in Colorado now.
Yeah,
I didn't know
yeah,
that. Wow.
She just started doing or singing the karaoke at least out there.
Okay.
How,
Okay.
how did you two meet there?
We actually met
on a sex
online. No, we met online on one of the online apps. We never dated.
Wait, what kind of app is
Like,
this?
well, like Tinder or something like that. We
I know
met.
Bumble's got the business app. You could.
Yeah, no, we met through one of those things online. Now we never dated, we never went out, but we met that way.
Okay, you got.
And she said, "Oh, I do karaoke," and I met her karaoke. And we've been, you know, we immediately became friends. Never did anything romantic or anything, but we met through. I forget whether it was Tinder or something like it, but that's how we met years ago. And I went to what she said, "Oh, I do karaoke." I said, "Right on! I love singing karaoke. I love to practice. I guess sing with a couple of bands here and there. In fact, I'm going to do a blues jam tonight in Sunnyvale
Okay.
tonight at
Cool
8.
enough.
Love to sing, and that's how I met Amanda. And she great energy when she does karaoke, and she's got a great voice. We've done a duet of Jackson by June Carter and Johnny Cash. I have to say it's pretty strong.
I saw Johnny Cash live.
Did you?
It was awesome. San Mateo Fairgrounds.
I love it.
So I keep bothering them, asking what the concert lineup is this year. I mean, it's next month. Come on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw B.J. Thomas there.
Love it.
Some great people. Yeah, so you just and then isn't great how you could find out if you could be friends with.
Yeah, honestly, I've been online dating, for about 10 years now. The best relationships I've had out of those have not been. I met people romantically and had relationships, but the best stuff I've had has just been meeting people that became friends. Regular platonic friends has been the best relationship. Certainly the longest lasting.
This is something that came to me while we were starting before the show. Hey, sex. Let's talk about sex because you were on the Afternoon Delight. Wait.
Sarah Sparkles, remember Sarah Sparkles?
Were you on that show where she had to be dazzled, but JJ? That's what they call it, vagina, but they use the term.
I was not on that show. I was not at that one.
Yeah, there was the interesting pictures.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Sarah Sparkles was.
She's great, but she is always late, so she's not very dependable. But yeah, she's a good person.
Yeah.
I don't know. The scene just has a bunch of people you gotta kind of wonder about.
Okay.
I mean, around certain people, like they're good people. But once you start hanging out with a certain people, you're like, do I know all these other people?
Friends of friends, right? I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, like both those people, they kind of went their way, and I hung out with both Sarah and Amanda, an individual. And I'm like, who are these other people that are around?
Well, it's funny how it's funny you say that because we have friends for a common interest. For example, I love the Miami Dolphins, right? So I get together every Sunday at Blue Light Bar on Union Street, about 10 to 15 Miami Dolphins fans. Okay. Now,
Saturday,
every Sunday during football season, we'll watch the game. Right. And the thing is, we have that one thing in common, right? But there are people that, like many of them, you don't have a whole lot of other things in common.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't hang out with them necessarily. Now, some of them are. Some are people, these are really cool people. I like them not just for the Miami Dolphins, but for other things as well. But then you're always going to have, when you hang out with people for one reason, it's always going to be like other reasons that you wouldn't necessarily hang with them. You know what I mean? When you got one common interest. So when you've got friends where you're friends with that person for a reason, and then they've got they're friends with someone else for a different reason, you can get some weird collections of people going when you start getting into the friends of friends round. There's no doubt about it. You go to parties with people, they have big parties. Anytime you get a big party, you've got people of a very different, interesting mix of people. I always find that fascinating to see. How are you guys friends? And then, it's because we're into knitting together or sewing together or whatever it is, some common hobby. But it's funny.
It was kind of cool at my birthday thing I had at the dinner. There's people that say, "Yeah, I met on Luke's show." Another guy, I met on Luke's show too. It's cool being around so long.
Yeah,
I got to pick people who were just we're gonna be friends.
Yeah, it's great. You never know who you might meet. I mean, it's just That's why I love stuff like Facebook and Instagram. I have 7 Instagram pages, okay, all for different areas of
That's
interest.
a little. Oh, okay.
It's so
Different
it's so
thing.
easy to find people of common interests.
Okay, so you got
It's
different interest. Instagram
yeah,
page.
different, totally different, unrelated interests and Instagram page for each. I got people all over the world that I follow that follow me for these different specific little interests. It's cool. It's amazing how you can, with technology, how you can reach out and be connected with people all over the planet for your little area of interest. It's awesome.
Okay, finally someone that doesn't think it's bad. Cause
No, I think it's awesome.
I never got it. Like, I mean, people hate the Facebook or people hate the social media,
I love
but at the
social
same
media.
time, how can you really hate it? It's like a cool invention.
Yeah. And you got to be disciplined. I mean, yeah, there are people that spend I guess there are people that spend an inordinate amount of time online, but that's on you, right?
I mean, and
you
if
can be on Instagram for 10 minutes a day or 10 hours a day. It's up to you.
if you feel like they flag something you said, you could just say something somewhere else.
Yeah.
I mean, and the good thing about all that is it happens to everybody now.
Yeah.
I mean, I had Facebook put me on some kind of restricted thing because I had I did a Snapchat. It was a picture of a guy with his shirt off. I guess he had the man breast falling down, and I put a picture of my cat's face as his face,
Okay.
and I got restricted for that.
Okay.
And they said it was pornography. I'm guessing maybe it was because his boobs or
maybe
too much man boob.
maybe yeah, who knows? Maybe
But
the
I mean,
algorithm thought it was who knows. Wow.
I was just like, all right, well, I post enough to where if you're gonna restrict me, well, someone will
Right.
see it. You know,
Yeah,
someone
yeah.
will see what I post. I mean, it's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Twitter. Elon's not really in charge anymore.
Right.
No one's really in charge, are they? And it's running fine.
That's the one. It's funny you say that. Twitter's the one that I technically do have an account. I've never posted. To me, I don't get the thing about Twitter. It's a short couple of I don't know how many characters or how many
Are they gonna
whatever
do
it is.
one out?
Is it more now? But it's like to me, I don't get that one. To
Look.
me, just words. You just post. To me, I want to see. To me, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, those all make so much more. They're so much more entertaining to me.
Yeah,
But
I'm not.
I don't know.
I'm not a big fan, but I look at these things like, well, I can't hate on it, but
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan. It works for some people.
Yeah,
like-
obviously it does.
like-
Obviously it works for a lot of people.
It's like the Dana says. I tend to just retweet a lot of stuff. It's because I don't really get to Twitter myself personally, so I just want people to go, hey, well, I'm not sharing this on the other stuff, so here, I'll retweet this on this one.
There you go.
I mean, the TikTok, I don't know, that's, yeah. But, yeah, so we're talking about the social media.
Yeah.
Things like, well, Instagram, they want to kind of get rid of, they want to kind of, censor more because they feel like it's not good for kids.
It's like anything else. What's the content they're looking at? Anything to me, anything can be used educationally. Anything can be abused if you're spending too much time on it. I mean, but it really comes down to either the individual disciplining themselves or parents disciplining their kids. You know, if you got a kid that's on social, that's on you as a parent to see. You know,
I would not give my kid a phone.
you know, it's yeah. So you got to just be able to. I don't like the idea of restricting people because some people can't handle, you know, keeping social media in perspective. But I love it. My favorite Instagram page I have 7.
Yeah.
My daughter and I do something called California Coffee Adventures. We profile coffee houses all over the state of California just for fun. And I love coffee. I love hanging out when I'm not teaching on site of the
Some
client.
coffee too.
I love
You gotta
coffee
have
and I
your
love
drug.
coffee houses.
I could do without the alcohol, with the coffee, we're gonna have some problems.
No, yeah, I 100% agree. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs, but I drink an inordinate amount of coffee. I'm actually allergic to alcohol, but I drink the coffee and I love it. And I love coffee houses. So I have a page with my daughter. We do it, and we just profile cool coffee houses all over the state of California.
Have you
It's
tried
it's just
that?
fun.
What do you think about that Pink Panthers and the bottoms up? Like coffee or what?
I don't know that one. I don't know that one.
Oh.
But Pink Panthers is which one's this?
Oh, it's one in there's one in the Redwood City.
Is that the one where you go? It's like a drive-up kiosk.
Oh
kind of
yeah,
thing?
yeah,
yeah,
drive
yeah.
up. You have and you get sort of the coffee.
Yes. I've heard of it. I haven't been at one. I haven't been to one. I've seen it. Yeah.
I'm surprised you got like a coffee whole Instagram.
Well, it's
thing.
more, yeah, but it's more like coffee houses, like, funky,
where you
cool
go inside.
Yeah, where you go inside, like nearby here, down the road on 7th Street, Sight Class Coffee, great coffee house down
That
down the
actually
way.
is. That actually is.
It's a really great.
Hey,
Those are the kinds of coffee houses we profile.
They
We're not
tend to
making any
want
money on it.
us
We
to
just
break
go,
coffee, yeah.
we shoot a minute video, and I just explain why I
It's
like
that way,
it.
right?
It's down 7th, heading south.
Okay.
So
I've
yeah,
been there. But
probably
when I
not
come
5
to the
blocks from
city,
here.
it's
not even
like I'm just going like all over.
Oh yeah. There's so many great coffee houses all over the place.
Yeah. So
Love it.
usually I'm like someone that has a bunch of social media. I give them the thumbs down. But you're talking. This is the Instagram. How
Yeah.
are you with the Facebook?
I
See.
don't spend a huge amount of time on it, but I like keeping in contact with
I
my friends.
respect that.
I've
All right.
got like 85 friends from high school that are part of my graduating class. I wouldn't know where these people are. There's just no way I would even know these people where they are in the world. But some of them are friends, and one I go down and see in Los Angeles, and Facebook has let me be in touch with people I would have lost touch with decades ago.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way I would know where these people are, and because of Facebook, so used correctly and where you're not wasting too much of your time on any given day. I love Facebook. I think it's a great tool.
Yeah, I respect that. It just seems Instagram does seem like it's more generated towards if you want to make another page, it's for your hobby or activity.
Yeah, I do hobby and activities.
But Facebook, yeah.
For me, it's keeping in touch
So-
with friends. And
So good. You're not
yeah.
that way on the Facebook. Yeah, I could respect on Instagram. It seems like that's what it's for. But the Facebook, I get people that they'll send me another friend request after I've seen 7 or 8 other profiles, and I'm like, this might be you. I don't feel like I know you right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people use Facebook very differently as far as, some people, it's like everything. I mean, some people, heck, I've even seen like online dating apps where that's the one I find fascinating, where some people will be like, yeah, I'm not really here to date. I'm a real estate agent. If you need to sell your house, come to me and I'll sell that to I'm fundamentalist Christian looking for another fundamentalist Christian to I'm just here for sex. And it's just the entire world of possible connections all in one place. I think it's hilarious to see. It's fascinating.
Yeah, but when I see age play, it's like, dang. So this is what you instead of having kids, this is how y'all roll with it. This has just gotten weird. Now you want your mate to be the kid in diapers.
Oh, yikes.
I don't know what I would have preferred. You having kids or no? Probably not having kids.
Okay.
But since so we're since I know you were on the sex show. I did.
Well, I mean,
write the word sex.
yeah.
Wrote the word
You
sex.
wrote that down there,
And,
did you?
this show's not about.
It was as sex shows go, it was a pretty light sex show. It wasn't really about that much. I mean, at least the time that I was there, it was pretty. It was pretty. When I was just there at the beginning, and it was. Did it get? I'll be honest with you. Did it get a lot more hardcore later? I don't know.
I wasn't.
I don't know.
actually,
I wasn't. So I just was kind of. It was afternoon delight. And I touched on a few, but it was very, very sort of. I want to say at the most R-rated. Maybe
I'm not
PG-13
sure when she,
half the time. It wasn't.
departed from my show, and she was supposed to be a co-host on my show.
Okay.
I'm not sure if that was after I had the pussy stunt artist on.
Okay.
Which I should try and get here. She got.
I have enough plastic tarps.
There you
Yeah,
go.
so
If you're equipped for it properly.
I try to. Yeah, I mean, in so much ways I can convince someone. I told her it's for a school project. No, she came in here. It was funny. I had a room full of rappers on one side.
Okay.
I was surprised. Very sensitive comedian where you're sitting. And
sensitive comedian.
yeah, because like he doesn't exist anymore, and I think that's because I don't know, maybe
Too sensitive.
because me. But he flash in the pan, that guy right there. He was saying transgender jokes. Oh, she put him in a chokehold. Started
Literally, yeah, physical altercation.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
But the door just opened, so he didn't know who. But I guess he smelled the perfume, so he was like, okay, all right, do as you will. But yeah, she was strong too. But yeah, she was choked. But then she came around and she just started dropping her stuff right there, and she started like doing stunts with like its attachment to the vaginal area. It was
Vaginal area stunts.
so I mean, I
Wow.
guess I was trying to be like the Howard Stern back in the day. That's
Got it.
when I had to think. Well, because then I had Dominatrix on my show once.
Okay.
I mean, this was one of the times I had one on, and then from seeing the way that show was going, I was like, dang, uh, I'm kind of playing this out here. This isn't
Yeah.
really me anymore.
Okay.
So yeah, and that's one other thing I was thinking of. The Howard Sterns and the Jerry Springers are kind of gone. That's not like do people care about the lesbian sex fantasies or the girl scenes? Like, there's so much out there
Yeah.
that we're kind of just everything's out there to where we're desensitized to everything.
Yeah.
There was are things so giddy now? Like, Howard Stern even really doesn't exist anymore because
Yeah, it's
he's not
interesting.
the sex guy anymore.
Yeah, no, there's so much. But I love how decentralized things are now. You can go, like your show. People can listen to your show, and they
My
can
word,
go,
Thanks.
and it's just
Appreciate
it's
that.
cool. You don't have to go to major networks and be part of that whole system anymore. I love that whole system is becoming less powerful and less. That
Yeah.
people have so many ways to go and hear the kinds of things they want to hear and talk to the kinds of people they want to talk to inexpensively, through things like what you're doing. That's incredible. I mean, it's awesome.
Yeah, as much as I would like the notoriety of like the Jimmy Kimmel, it'd be awesome. No, that didn't even feel right the way I said that.
Yeah.
Just I mean, it'd be cool in the way that people think people are listening and they like what you guys say, but I wouldn't like to have some just reading something, and I wouldn't like to have to feel like I have to be a certain way.
Well, and yeah, think about when you start getting sponsors that are paying
That's probably
the
Whitney.
bills.
The Whitney SF.
You got to be real careful what you say because that $1 million sponsor or more
Hold on a second.
Yeah, I did not want to do
is you say something they don't like and now all of a sudden you lost all that money. Whereas a situation like this, that seems to me like you can pretty much say what you like.
Yeah,
You can say whatever the hell you like here. You're not going to lose a
No,
$10 million sponsor for saying something you.
instead of the sex,
Yeah.
we're all about the relationships now.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's taking you to like the 90-day fiance.
Okay.
Oh, hey, the Whitney.
Hello.
Or, oh,
Amazing.
the flash.
Like your hair.
Yeah, like the flash drive.
Yes, sir, I do.
She's like the flash drive. Play a little music in a little bit. We were wrapping this Whitney S. Have you watched that 90-Day Fiance show?
I have not. Is that a thing? I'm still sometimes. I
We're
don't talk.
talking- Well, we went from talking about the sex, which is actually, that
To brief
was
me.
something else in mind.
Hey, your
Actually,
judgment.
we went to talk about how people are into more relationships and the giddy off of the sex type of shows now.
Hmm.
Like
I
that-
can't relate
You can't.
per se.
This is good.
To each their own.
So you prefer like the like a Howard Stern type of vibe with the shows,
First of all, I have to say
or neither one.
this whole place feels very Howard Stern-ish, legitimate, no doubt.
This,
This
yeah.
is pretty amazing in here. I had no idea.
This place was built off that vibe.
I mean, this is really incredible. I have to tell you, this is pretty incredible in here. I had no idea I was going to be privy to such an experience right now.
It's
Wow.
got good energy. That's
It's
is
pretty
what I-
remarkable. I'm
I like
impressed.
it. It's got good
This is
energy.
what I try to do because I'm a guy that just
Pretty
sits
amazing.
here, and then I like to have to where you just walk in here and like this is amazing because that way, I don't. It
I'm
makes
impressed.
you more amazing. And,
Like,
Can I tell you
oh,
my favorite
hold
part?
on, hold on. I'll get you a
Like
drink.
right here.
I saw your shirt.
I need a drink. There you go.
You know, I'm not passive aggressive, so
So, so reason I'm talking about the relationship, can we talk about
hey, that's all you.
no
I'm just kidding.
the thing about the reality shows now is we're getting like the 90-Day Fiance, we're getting the love with the age issues. Like we got 86-year-olds with 24-year-olds. Hey, That's soft ageism right there.
I'm not hating on anybody. To each their own. I mean, you know, if whatever makes everyone happy.
So some of this,
That's fine.
some of these reality shows have soft ageism, and the transgender thing. Like, I have been little closeted growing up with that stuff, more conservative. And then I see this guy on the show that it's got like he's trans, and I'm like, at first it's a little odd. I'm like, he's trans, that's not really fun. But then I'm like, wow, this guy's really cool. And then I start thinking of what he's talking about sexually. I'm like, how's this? Because I guess that's the part where you're like, this guy's got a penis. What the? How does? And then I heard it's like a whole forearm.
I'm gonna stop.
No,
Baby's arm.
I didn't see it, but I'm talking about what he was. What the woman was describing too is like they took a different part to make a penis, and I'm like, dang, I'm actually a little jealous, and I have props for the guy. That's amazing. That I'm like, and he's actually a pretty cool guy, and he's getting that penis.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
So that's all you need to drink.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and it confronts a lot so issues, having these reality shows. That
Amazing.
Need some more
Thank
of
you
that?
so much. That's remarkable.
Like so we confront a lot of issues like the one ex guy, he has to meet this other woman's ex, and they confront each other and talk about who's got the bigger the penis.
Stop it.
And but then they shake hands and they're like, bro, actually I don't know, that's on the next episode, so I just saw them shaking hands.
Is this that show 90 Day
Fiancé? Yeah, 90 Day Fiancé.
I've heard of it. I've never seen this.
Will make you very accepting, I think, because I'm like, ages, because I'm talking about the 86-year-old with 24. That is weird, but then you're like, wow, she's actually talking about how she's a strong woman. I'm like, okay, much power to you women of all ages being strong women. And then you, not you, I just mean you.
A person.
Transgender guys out there, or wait, it's a woman that went to a guy. That is awesome. That I'm now going, dang, it's kind of an awesome person right there. Instead of just looking at you like your thing,
We're becoming a lot more accepting of different kinds of people, and I think in general that's a great thing. I think it's kids growing up now have a very different perspective on what's normal, and it's all good. Teach, as you said earlier, teach their own.
I am feeling like this world kind of makes our spelling or grammar a little off. Am I right? Or how's our education system going? We was getting serious before you jumped in.
Education? May I wait on the stop?
You want to?
Okay, I'm 40 years old, and I feel like very dated to say the least. These days, because I sound like maybe
no, I like this.
an old hag, but I'm just gonna. I am what I am, and that's how it is. I feel like a little. I'm disturbed that like they don't write anymore in school. There's no writing. It's all tablets. Like I'm a little concerned.
Yeah.
How are we gonna read the Declaration of Independence? Okay, or letters from your grandmother? I don't know. I mean, it's a little concerning to me.
I mean, she's got a point because she's talking about just reading in general.
I mean,
and whether you want to do that declaration or whatever you want to read, she's talking about in general right here.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. But what do I know? I know, like I said, I don't have a television. I'm sort of like in my own little musical world, or, just kind of like to.
No, this is good because this is what's in front of your eyes that you're talking about. You see, this is what in your vision.
And also, I have to say, I was essentially more or less raised by gay men. Gay people are my people. Essentially, I, per se, am not like homosexual in any capacity, but I love gay people, period. I love all people.
Yeah.
I don't like to, I love humans, you know what I mean? And to each their own, like I said. And I feel like, who am I to tell anyone else what to do with themselves, their body, or their personal life?
So that's my thing. Like,
yeah.
Whatever you political. I actually like to talk about people's political views and squash and go like, because I like to separate and go. All right, we're just talking about humans here, because everyone should. If you're a good person, you should have that mindset for at least good, no matter what you believe in.
Precisely. I agree 100%.
And so, yeah, humans.
Yeah.
Whatever happened, just humans, right?
Thank you.
Seems to be more a little bit of let's find that separation. And to me, I've seen a lot of teachers on protest recently. And
They don't get paid enough. I'm sorry. I think I have a real problem with the way, I'm sorry if I interrupt you, but the way our
No,
country
it's
treats
fine.
veterans.
Yeah.
I have two problems. And like I said, I do not think I have the right answers for any other human except for myself only. It's
That's what
who
this
am I to
is about.
say what other people is right for them? But I personally have a problem with the way we treat veterans.
Veterans, yeah.
Like I ethically have a problem. I feel like they're kind of like left for dead, and I feel like we should really appreciate these people because without them, where would we be?
Well,
You know.
yeah.
And I also feel like I have veterans, and I also have a problem with like sometimes only theoretically our foster care system seems like it really
Well, we
is
were talking about that.
lacking
So do you
quite a bit.
We were talking about that earlier.
Do you know about the insides of that? Because we
Oh,
were
yeah.
just talking. We have no. I've been in a foster home, but I don't know how it. I don't know how they pick these kids. I don't know.
I do know a couple of different things. Like I said, from my human experience, I was born and raised here. Grew up in San Francisco, not like outside of San Francisco, literally here.
Mhm.
I went to pretentious private all girls school, and whatever, it doesn't even matter. But I rebelled my whole life from any people that feel like they're better than other humans because we all bleed the same blood,
Yeah.
and that's that. You know what I mean? And I appreciate all people. I appreciate somebody on the sidewalk. I don't know. I just feel like, are you a good person or not? That's all that matters to me. I don't care who anyone's parents are. I don't care how much money they have. I do not care. I just care about, are you a good human being or not? And that's that. You know what I mean? That's all.
People have to.
Yeah. That's how I was raised.
People have to think, I guess, other than just being a part of something.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you said people on the streets, like, and okay, how do you think that would? Because you're talking about the homelessness. Because I've been there, and but when I was a kid, I was a lot younger, and
Yeah.
we saw our resources.
Right.
And how do you feel like we could do better with the homelessness?
Okay, so it's really hard to say. This is my opinion. I'm just gonna share it as my
You must
opinion
have
only.
seen a
And
lot
that's
out
that.
there.
I'm so trying to be really careful these days. I don't care if I get canceled or not. I don't care if you say it for me.
As we
I'm not
said,
gonna
this
make
is
any more. I'm not gonna
Free
just.
speech right here.
I'm just gonna just say how what I feel. First and foremost, a good friend of mine worked for this city for a long time, like not under London Breed, whatever, but
One to breathe.
by choice. This man himself came from homelessness and a difficult background and personal life experience, And I feel like I don't know. It's like it's really hard to regulate anything that might be mentally health related. It's like that's kind of like a gray area. How are you going to necessarily say? It's like how do you regulate something like that? Are you born with an incomplete deck of cards, or are you know what I mean? How much is your responsibility? How much you're accountable for? It's hard to say.
Yeah.
That's a really great area. I feel like, but it's sad because he passed away. But it was my friend Brian, and he by choice and volunteered to work with a lot of these people, Homeless Coalition, all kinds of just really amazing humans. And it's like, I don't know, like all people are people. You know what I mean? Like you got to be thoughtful of everyone else, but at the same time, you can't co-sign people's nonsense. You have to abide on some level, right? Do you know what I mean? It's like a lot of these. I've just observed this lately in the last week or so, and I've known people. Yeah, I've seen it all,
Yeah.
and I have friends that from all walks of life. It's like you can't just be on the street living in like a public place, not caring. You know what I mean? And public area. At the same time, like harm reduction, I think, is a big deal. My friend Brian,
we
like
didn't really talk about that. Yeah.
my
okay.
friend that passed away, he was personally just and like I said, he passed away in the last year and a half or so. He personally distributed like at least a couple hundred tents during COVID, and it's not because anyone else like it was set up for him, but because he genuinely was a wonderful human being, and he cared about other people because he'd been there himself. Do you know what I mean? And it's like I feel like a lot of our politicians are kind of just concerned with advancing to the next level, sort of like, and I don't know them firsthand, so I can't really say, but he himself told me that like the bigger concern is more like going to the next level, the next tier, or whatever. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Well, I mean, yeah, I do feel like politicians use things
I don't know.
as a sort of their own
Hard to say.
little objectives other than just trying to solve the issue out there.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. I feel like there's easier solutions than it needs to be. But I mean, there's easy solutions when I think about them. But I, when a politician does something, it takes this plan and that plan and that plan, and then they exhaust every money just into the plan instead of the actual action.
The purpose, you feel like, is what we're saying.
Yeah. And then again, you know, I've done a lot of volunteer work, and
Which is
I
amazing.
just feel like, well, you don't think those volunteer organizations can actually do some good here? They give them that power, give them the plan. They'll go out there. Great group, onebrick.org. Sure, give them the opportunity. And
For sure.
they'll go out there and help. It's just, I just see in politics kind of they got their own objectives. But
No doubt, yeah.
yeah, I think we do need to work more on the grammar.
Well,
And
one of
the
the things
education system. I haven't really messed up. I mean, I don't have my theirs, the they, their.
I know, right? It's
Unless it's
difficult.
got
Difficult, right?
V or re at the end, I'm like, I'm gonna get attacked here. I was thinking doing saying it shows uncensored. Then I said uncensored. Like yeah, I used to be great with spelling the grammar. Now I just don't.
We're talking consonants for how people identify these days, or we're just talking about general spelling abilities?
Well, that can confuse things.
Just ask- you're gonna get canceled, you know.
I'm talking about the grammar and the spelling, but yeah, I mean, so I do get confused with the they them. I do get a little, but as long as I respect people, though,
I think that's the bottom line. I think you're totally right.
I'm
You
I'm
know?
not trying to be like just calling them out of what they aren't and like boldly just trying to attack. I mean,
Yeah, it's not our place, no.
Right.
But you're right.
like
Kindness is its own reward. That's what I was taught. I don't know.
like you know, if I'm like she, but then I'm like, oh, oops.
Yeah. You know what? I have a friend. I'm sorry, but I have to just say this, and that's that. I got very lucky long before these pronouns things were like an ordeal.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, like, please, world, if everyone would just like do me a solid here and please let me know who everyone would like to be identified. What I try to do to avoid all that offending anybody, because I care.
Yeah.
My friend Woody, I've had a good friend of mine for a long time. And if you're just by the looks of it and you can't even do that, it's like, okay, I wouldn't necessarily know. So because I cared so much about my friend Woody, I learned to just not even go with the pronouns and I would just say Woody. You know
Say
what I
the
mean?
name. That,
And you have to care to be like really reframe your thinking about something you've just naturally just rolled with your whole entire life. You have to care enough to, and I was lucky because I care enough about this person
yeah.
about like 10 years ago, start this whole pronoun thing and avoid it and be aware now.
The cool
You
thing
know?
about that, yeah, I've noticed,
I really like it.
is people have a hard time. People have had a hard time forever remembering people's names. So now you try to remember someone's name if they go by that they them because you're not gonna maybe catch it all the
Yeah.
time. The pronoun they want. So now just try to remember their name.
Yeah. You know, it helped me a lot, especially these days. I'm being so sensitive, and I love people. I'm not trying to offend anybody, but if everyone just kind of generally speaking, let me know so I don't offend anybody inadvertently, that'd be helpful.
Well, especially in what you do.
I just feel like you should refer to someone however they want to be referred to. I don't care. However someone wants me to refer to them, I'm happy to refer to them that way. Whatever that might be.
Let's just pop one in and
Anything's fine.
go for it.
All right, cool. Give me one, or do you want to do?
This is like ideal.
Pop one in and then whatever comes out, that's what we'll go with. Yeah,
Really,
you know what problem I have is when people do the they them and all that, but so I go by the name.
Right.
But they have more than one name, so
Okay.
it's like I'm not sure which name we're going for right now. I'm just gonna roll with it.
I have gotten better at remember people's names, and I will actually have a file on my phone called people names. And after I've met somebody and I know I'm going to see them again, I literally put their name in my file when I first meet them. I
Yeah.
see them the next time. I got it there. I can look it up. I remember their name. I don't remember it, but
grab my
it's
headphones.
in a file, the people names file. So I've gotten better at finding a way to keep track of people's names that I meet. So I was bad for many years.
So you have any pets there, Paul?
I have 3 amazing pets. 3. They're all tetra fish. They're all about an inch long.
What's the tetra sign?
Tetra fish.
Nobody talked about fish here yet.
Tetras. 3
You talking about like a little
little fish. Those are my pets. They are named Ray Charles,
Oh my God, stop it.
Johnny
Did you guys
Cash,
see?
and Mother Teresa of
How does he
Calcutta.
keep the glasses on?
Mother Teresa of Calcutta is that fish?
One of my fish is Mother Teresa of
Oh my God,
Calcutta.
I don't know. You're amazing.
Ray Charles and Johnny Cash. 3
Oh,
tetras.
that's the one with the dress,
I
right?
never ended this now.
Mother Teresa too.
So I love my, and when they occasionally do pass on to the other side, they reincarnate as the same 3. So they can die and then they come back.
Hold up.
So if occasionally fish die, they don't live all that long.
I understand
So I've
that.
had them for years. So when they die, they just reincarnate. We go down to
Okay.
Petco, they come back. So
Oh my
they
God,
can
I-
never really
that's
leave
awesome.
us. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So Ray and Johnny and Mother Teresa have been with me for a long time.
Oh my God, I love it. That's
I had Freddie, Michael, and Jason, and I believe Freddie killed all the other 2.
Okay. What kind of fish? What kind?
Probably in their sleep, I suppose. But
Right.
just goldfish. I won them at it's called the Cherry Blossom Festival.
Ah, yeah.
And wait, I think
Oh, was that in Japantown? Is that the one in? Yeah.
in Cupertino.
Cupertino, that one. Okay,
And then
got
I
it.
won a hermit crab named Hermie. Yeah,
I love it.
they don't like bats. I gave him
Okay.
a bath and he slid out of his shell and died. But yeah, I have a great cat, Amy.
Cat. I like cats. I don't have any, but I
And
like
when it
cats.
comes to cats, I just she won me over. I think that's the thing with cats. Like, I love animals, but so guinea pigs were just my go-to. Like, if there's guinea pigs, I gotta stop and I gotta see the guinea pig. But cats, it's like, you gotta. I love all animals, but I ain't gonna stop someone's cat. I'll give you a little pet, but I'm not like so in awe of you.
Yeah.
I think cats gotta like bond with me. I guess.
Yeah. See, I like cat energy because they're less needy. They're just the energy of cats. My daughter calls me a cat whisperer. I sit with cats and cats like me and I like them. I operate on the same vibrational
My cat would be
plane
the
as
best
most
time
cats.
right there.
Dogs, I know nothing against dogs. They're great, but it's a different energy and it's a different, and I don't match as well with dogs, but cats I love.
We're gonna talk about dogs in a little bit,
Okay.
but yeah, dogs are a little bit more when it
Needy,
comes
a
to animals,
little more needy,
a little bit more like kids, but still, thank God you don't have a kid. Well, I don't know. I'm just in my head going,
Yeah.
thank God the person has a kid, not a dog. And yeah, I know you have kids, but overall,
Yeah. Yeah.
so you seem like a great dad, but overall, less people need to have kids. So you choose your plan wisely. Like good for you, good father.
Thank you. Well, I think a lot of times people want to have babies. They don't necessarily want to have children, teens, young adults, whatever. You're not just having a baby. You're having a person that's going to become it's a whole
Exactly.
thing. It's not just a little baby. That's not what.
Exactly.
So you got to want all of it. And happily I did. And my ex did.
I was told my father didn't want me anymore as I became less able to use as a football. As a football.
Yeah.
So yeah. After I found out he wasn't dead anymore. But I had a good time thinking anyone could be my father, like Bushman. I thought you could be my dad out here.
Oh wow.
Then I met him and I was very jealous.
You met your dad.
He lived a very privileged life. Jeez.
Wow.
I was but wait, if you meet someone later on in life, it's like you can't be a father anymore. So it is more like I'm jealous of this guy's lifestyle. That could have been mine, right? Gosh darn it. No, I mean
So you're talking about meeting your actual dad.
9 years ago. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. What was that
man,
like?
It was a trip because I met him at a funeral.
Okay.
I saw my grandpa's because my grandpa played for the Giants.
Oh wow.
So, but on his side, his dad.
Okay.
So I saw it in the paper. So my mom said, you gotta go there. And no one even told me about this. I didn't get an invite. But she said, you're part of the family. You gotta go. Like, am I really?
Mm.
My dad left when I was 1.
Yeah.
Never met him. Am I really part of the family? But and I went.
Yeah.
Because I saw it in the paper, front page, and so I went, and then it was weird because I sat down, and then after the preacher did his thing and all that, everyone dispersed, but him and me
Wow.
at pew, and I wasn't sitting next to him
Right.
until everyone dispersed, and then we were at the same pew, but he was further down, and then we just looked at each other and said, you know I'm your dad, right, son? I'm like, well, he said son, so and we're not in the South, so I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of figured that.
Yeah.
The way you're looking at me, but you're not looking like you want to run, so I guess we're gonna, I guess we're
Yeah.
having a conversation here. Yeah, so that's that. It's
Do you still have any contact with him?
I don't know, maybe if it's my fault or because he will text me around. He send me some political stuff time to time. I think as a way of breaking ice
Yeah.
to talking to me.
Yeah.
And so, but I just figure I'm gonna say something the same area back. I get, is it weird as a guy? I guess maybe because I felt like in the past I have called him, and I don't feel like we have that energy. Like, hey, how you doing? Like, I guess a guy's one like he had said like, why you calling? You know, I don't know. I don't know if he. I wouldn't think he's trying. He thinks I'm trying to get something out of him after we actually met. So
Yeah.
uh,
It's interesting.
but see, I don't have real feelings that much when it comes like
Yeah.
because he left when I was so young.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I do have feelings like, well, if he died, never got to. Like,
Yeah. I get that.
Because we had a messed up experience. I thought I was gonna go see him.
Mm.
I took time off. I feel like he kind of messed that up
Mm.
because he kept wanting more time. Like, bro, I got a real job here, and going back and forth. And then when time comes, he kind of flaked out on plans. Like he said, "Well, are you ready?" And I'm like, "What do you mean, am I ready? I took vacation time off. Did you get tickets or what?" He said, "What days?" I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's like I guess he doesn't have a regular lifestyle.
Okay.
But at the same time, it's like I did look on his Facebook
Okay.
because I didn't add him because it caused friction. It would
Yeah.
probably cause friction on Mom.
Okay.
It's weird. She always wanted me to meet him. So
Yeah.
one day you're gonna meet your father.
Yeah.
I want you to have a relationship with him. But then when I met him, it was like,
Uh,
oh, you betrayed me. But
uh,
I did look on his Facebook, and it did look like at the time, he was having some medical issues that he didn't really tell me about. 'Cause
okay.
There's a lot of
I
people
see.
saying, "Hope you get better" and all that stuff.
I see.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So, when you don't have a bond with the guys, a part of me was like, so what? You know, he
Yeah.
didn't care about me. But then there was a part that be like, well, it's weird, medical issues, and he didn't like.
Yeah.
I don't know about this.
Yeah.
So it's a little. It kind of. So it's weird. If I had a kid, I couldn't understand not being in the kid's life. I just don't.
I can't conceive of that. I can't
I-
mentally. I can't grasp that either.
And I don't even. You hear me? I don't even want a kid.
Right.
But if I did,
Right.
I couldn't help not being in the
Right.
kid's life.
Yeah.
You
100%.
raise him with,
I can't conceive of that. Yeah. I don't. I know what you mean.
yeah, and I get why people think, well, this isn't the way I would raise my kid. I mean, I'm talking about older in life. If
Yeah.
the kid is a certain way, you don't want the kid to be. It's like, well, I still love the kid.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I think one reason I don't want a kid is I probably would be a good father.
Uh huh.
And that takes work.
Yeah.
We did. I got some questions coming out. I don't know if
All
I
right,
asked
yeah.
you about what role models you admire.
Oh, that's great.
Okay,
What role
good.
models? My mom, for sure. My mom, she's now on the other side, but the most polite, kindest person I've ever met. And she's been on the other side now 15 years, but just an amazing woman. No question, my mom's number one. Just for just kindness and politeness and just putting other people first. Just the kindest person I've ever met. So
And you mean
number one, my mom.
She died.
Yeah, she's.
How-
I say
how-
she's on the other side. She died at 69. She was 69 when she passed.
Okay. So my
Yeah.
mom, she's probably the 71 this year.
Okay.
I had to find out by looking at her ID. Wow, that's
It was tough, but
so there's
still on the other side. I still
did she have medical problems?
she had cancer at the time of her death, but that wasn't the cause of her death. They thought that was in remission. It was an internal bleeding issue that sort of came about just all of a sudden. It may have been caused by some of the medication or some of the treatment. We really don't know. But so her death was sudden, even though she had cancer at the time. That was thought to be in remission and thought to be controlled, and so she did die suddenly. But
Well, cancer could be real lame.
yeah,
I don't know. I just want to use lame.
Yeah.
Because cancer can happen like that, where you're beating it because from what you said, she had it, she was beating it, and then all of a sudden just took her out.
yeah,
Like that.
that can happen.
That sucks.
can happen, yeah.
Yeah, that could happen to where you're beating it. And you probably feel like beat that cancer, and then all of a sudden like a bullet just.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Now on the other side, my dad's 90, just turned 90 and in good health and doing great. So, and it's funny talking about relationships. My relationship with my father got much better. The older we both got, we have a better relationship now than we ever have. Not that we had a horrible relationship when we were young. We didn't, but I got closer to him. As he's got into his 80s, he and I, now he's 90, he and I have gotten along better and better and better as the years progress. So it's really kind of interesting.
This is great because what's your belief? Are you a God-fearing man? Or...
I don't really. I say I'm culturally Catholic. I was raised Catholic, but I'm not religious. I don't go to church. I don't go to mass. But I'm culturally Catholic. There's certain things about the faith. I like lighting candles. I like saying prayers for intentions, but I don't go to church on a regular basis.
Okay.
I don't.
Which you
So
do-
I'm a spiritual person, not religious, but culturally Catholic. I grew up in that environment.
Okay, you do have that belief.
Yeah, the background, at least the background anyway. But I'm more, if I had to look at that, I'm more, Taoist. I do believe in the other side for sure. And I know my mom is on the other side and I communicate with her.
It's already on the floor.
Yeah, so,
Hi there.
yeah.
Apologize.
That was only one
But
cup.
spiritual.
Already on the floor.
But, hey, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, I got plenty more.
Not so much. I wish. I'm so sorry. I was not.
It's all good, you're good.
Yeah, we were gonna.
I was just trying to be out of your field of view, but I guess I
No,
screwed
no,
up
you-
while I'm army crawling on the ground.
You can totally be in the you're part of this. And yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You got some music there?
Yeah.
Right on.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, we could. So when it comes to this, that would.
He's so much more
Would
interesting.
that
Yeah,
be
we're
the-
waiting for her
I'm
to
sorry.
Okay. What do we gotta do? And then your dog. How's your dog doing?
Oh my gosh, I love all my animals so much. I have fur babies instead of actual babies, and that's fine. I like other babies because I can give them back. The
Yeah,
two-legged
There you
ones.
go.
And it's perfect. Like like I said, I'm 40, and other babies are great, but the best part is you can give them back.
There you go.
Well, I ain't gonna lie. This is maybe why you look really good because you're 40, never
Yes.
had the kids. You
I don't know
kept
what
that
it is,
going.
much.
Kept that youth going. But see, also, most women once they realize, even if you had kids, once you realize that kids went away, you get that youth. You get that youthful glow. So go away once you come to that realization. Yeah. So we're talking about queuing up when we.
That's
Yeah,
it?
she was trying to get her song ready, and then she had a little bit of a
Hell, we did.
technical issue.
We're gonna close our eyes, and you're gonna pick it for me this way.
That's what's up. Yeah.
This man is actually really fabulous. I was trying to tastefully ask him to zip my shirt up in the back, and it kept busting open. So I'm I'm not that kind of girl. I'm sorry, my friend.
Is this a zip right here? We got the. I need. Is it? I need.
It's like no. This is actually one of my favorite shirts. It's so silly, but
I like it because it let me know right away.
No, it's not. I always have my own.
Like
But,
Paul,
it's
he's
just
allergic.
funny.
He's
It's
allergic
just
to
funny.
alcohol.
Are you really?
Literally,
No,
yeah.
like literally.
No, literally.
That's why it's over
We're
here.
talking metaphorically, and
No, it hurts my tongue and I lose all sense of taste.
No, yeah, he's serious.
that
Yeah.
is remarkable.
Yeah.
That's great for you.
It's
Yeah,
as
it's
allergies
great.
go, it's saved me thousands of
We're going
dollars
to
over the
have
years if you think
way
about
more
it.
years on your life.
That's right.
I feel like such a jerk. Can I please need this? You seem like a very remarkable person.
This is the
Why
well,
don't you know why it's don't?
Paul. I'm used to him as the Panda Slim.
Panda Slim, that's my
I just
singing
think you're
name.
very interesting.
Oh,
You sing.
I sing. I like to sing.
You're no way. Really?
Love to sing.
Dude,
Sorry, I don't get off. Like you said, what kind of music do you mind asking? I'm sorry.
Everything from blues to funk. I sing a lot of Johnny Cash,
Stop.
blues, funk, soul, swing. Love some swing music.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Can you swing dance?
I sing the music that people swing dance to. I love to dance, but I love to dance freestyle.
You know.
I love to watch people swing dance. The athleticism of it is beautiful.
Were you
but-
like the blues?
What's that?
You love the blues.
I love the blues.
That's my jam.
Love me the blues.
12-bar blues. I love the blues too.
You sing too, right?
I'm like, I really don't sing very well at all anymore. I can carry a tune pitch like that. I'm not gonna sing out of key ever. I'm not trying to do it now.
You ever been dancing at Motown on Mondays?
Even Motown Mondays, I love Motown.
Motown on Mondays
That is the
rocks.
jam.
It is awesome.
I just got a message from my mom. She
Ah.
said she was gonna have pizza delivered, but
Ooh.
she was.
Are you serious? You watch?
You know, I love my mom.
Like,
She's
literally?
she's a little, yeah, but she's a
Oh
little,
my god, that's so
she's a little
cute.
crazy. What she think is she
Oh
gonna
my
she's
God,
gonna
that's
have
so
pizza
crazy.
delivered to the
You
tent.
tell her next week's the sleepover, not
What's
this
her,
week.
what's her name? What's her mother's name?
Trisha. Is she already?
She can.
She yeah. Hey, well,
Hi, Trisha.
she
Yeah, you're
She's gonna
good.
have-
Good at his camera.
she got pizza delivered to the tenderloin.
I'm going the wrong way.
No, but that is awesome. She's I don't know. She's yeah. She's true. You know, I love my mom. She's
She's
great.
cool.
You know what? You're probably a lovely guy because you're a little.
There you go.
Yeah, you know, I mean, she raised me on the stuff we're talking about, like the
I'm
Motown.
serious. But that's the thing. So my mother and I, we never agreed on anything in life, virtually nothing. Okay, except for literally only James Brown
James Brown.
and Motown. That was it. She could not
That's a
carry
lot
a
of
tune.
it.
God bless her. She couldn't carry a tune. She had no rhythm. I tried to teach her how to do the snake. She could not do it.
Oh,
But
we're
hold
gonna
on,
get.
but we'll go 15.
I'm
We'll
Well,
go all the way to 6.
Yeah,
So I guess
I could, yeah, we'll just go with whatever
We'll go all the way to
we started a little.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll do that.
is everyone breaking up with me? I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine.
I like how it.
Him now.
I like how you're in with it. Yeah. So I don't. And she's so. My mom messaging me there.
Ah,
So cute.
Really?
No, I really think that's the sweetest thing.
No, see, I gotta tell Dana that she doesn't.
Oh, that's so
So
dark.
cute
So
there.
cute.
So
Is that your lady? The pink hair?
yeah, she's probably getting her miles in right there. She likes to do a lot of walking.
Good for her. Gosh. I should do something like myself.
Yeah, well, you get around with the DJing.
I don't know. I move a lot around in a booth. It's very small.
You DJ?
That's my.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
So my main thing is like
Well,
end up's my main gig
Very cool.
for like the last 4 or 5 years.
you don't get much sleep then.
Actually, I'm kind of old. Like I sleep frequently.
So okay, so
I mean, like even throughout the course of my day, I find myself.
you know what's cool about getting older? Well, I mean, you don't look old, but the way we could all relate is because we're kind of the same ages. That we have our certain times we like to sleep. So after your gig, you're probably like passed out. Sorry, but end up's like all night in
No,
the
so-
morning.
I don't know. Anytime I play music at all, and I feel very blessed and fortunate to play anymore. Music is like my soul food. I love it. It's what keeps me. It's the only thing I can commit to for life. So anytime I'm playing music or around music, I don't play
Yeah.
music more than they're humans. That's the coolest feeling in the world.
You,
But I just get really charged. Really, really excited.
you
I'm
play with
blessed.
the DJ Recognize. Jeff Boyce.
Yes, yes,
Great-
Jeff,
great
I
guy.
love Jeff with music right
Well,
now.
actually,
Just got married recently.
Yeah, I didn't go.
Congratulations,
I
Jeff,
didn't
you're
go. You know, I don't have the.
And that
Oh,
Nutella,
flex-
Italian.
Yeah, I don't have the flexibility like you
It's cute.
great people. I met through
Very nice.
the Pachecos, the the one.
He's a very, very
Uh,
genuinely nice.
I went to high school with the Pachecos, so I
Yeah,
got
right,
to know the Jet Poisoner. And then I had them on the show, and they were on the Molly, which was
Oh.
super awesome. Because I,
Oh, you're serious?
well, not with the Paul
No,
here.
that's spirits, God bless
Well,
him.
not the Paul wasn't here when they were on the Molly.
Oh my gosh, you're so
It was amazing because like they went to the bathroom, and then next thing you know, the Molly's coming, and I was like, awesome.
She's like a long time.
But then it was awesome because I saw them on the news at the Ocean
Stop
Beach.
it.
They
The
had like
things that was on the news, that like the parties on it, they're like,
yeah, but the renegade thing's a top secret. But
I don't know what anybody's talking about. It's my first time.
but the Ocean Beach had like a little rave thing.
That's
I was
very
like,
cool. It's very
I was like, what? I gotta have them here.
that's
I
awesome.
already know women.
On the
women
news, this is
awesome
how
guys.
you first make contact.
Yeah, and then I was already talking to the Pacheco bros, and I was like, yeah. During the pandemic, that was when I got really into like the DJs and the
That's cool.
house music because they had the parties that you could you go to the underground.
Yeah,
You know, it was they gave you a outlet to go to.
absolutely.
Which one?
The Renegades, and then
I have to say, like I said, I'm kind of old up, but that concept started a very, very long time ago, right?
yeah,
And but like the point is, music's supposed to be like love and positive and like an opportunity to lift everybody up to a better, positive place. And it's really cool that they like brought back the old renegade vibe and concept to like available to everyone. Like when you don't have the money to pay these asinine prices to go to these clubs, I just think it's cool.
Yeah.
So it's kids do it for, I think kids. They're doing it for the right reason, which is like refreshing.
Yeah, they didn't get the
I think
COVID.
I
till it
they're pretty
ended.
badass. Like, I think they're fast.
And they didn't get the COVID till the pandemic ended. They were like,
I like DJ all throughout COVID, I'm telling you, and that was that, and I fine the whole entire time.
yeah, I did my podcast during the
As did I.
and I felt like it was the best because people needed an outlet to go to.
Yeah.
And like,
Honestly, that was the coolest part. So many cool things were first because of the COVID thing.
Agreed.
they're
Yeah.
like,
A
wait,
lot of musicians, I feel like it's very cool. The best part is they could have their own labels and not have to, sign with other people. They didn't, as long as
So
it comes to like kind of signing your solo and some performance, but people are empowered to be their own humans, and they
Yeah.
can finally do that because of COVID. That was one of the
I discovered a silent disco. Did you ever do anything with silent disco?
Yeah.
And
So-
yeah.
it's like-
disco.
Yeah.
Totally, and I get there's a time and place, but boy, do I feel like awkward is all hell in the moment. I'm like, okay,
And they call you Whitney SF
Or the Whitney.
because I have a thing with saying the.
I know. I noticed that. I like it. It's a good
What was
style.
Is it really the Whitney SF or?
So it's like, I'm just Whitney. I've been Whitney my whole entire life. I don't think I'm like special or like the only one. I'm just another human like that.
So like DJ Whitney? Is that what you go
Not
for?
even, because everyone's
just
a DJ. I think
The
it's
Whitney
kind of
itself?
ridiculous.
The Whitney SF?
Everyone's a
It's got a
DJ.
nice ring
I
to
don't
it.
know. But there are more than one Whitney, and I even know more than one of them.
Or the.
Well, it's like,
SF.
wherever we go, there you are, and I do remember.
Right, right.
Not even remember. I don't think I'm special, trust me.
So we have about 9 minutes. You
I
should
better get
unmute that stuff.
No. Oh, well, I'm just ready for the. You only got the music.
So I get so excited.
Let's go. Let's do
I'm
it.
totally ready.
Let's hear it.
I know you are.
I'm serious. I like it that much.
Yeah, so just unmute the one that says CD player, bud.
No, wait, well, yeah. And then what? No, yeah, we're ready for it.
And then
And
go
this is
ahead
a
and
big
play
one.
it. Now it's gonna be whatever you got going
Where
on.
can I not stand the way I've been?
You're fine right now. I've got you on camera either way.
There. I'm a plane. We're just roll.
Yeah, that's what we could. Yeah, we could do
Yeah,
that.
you can actually just pick one.
We could even play some beer pong.
There you go.
Right now.
I got the beer. Oh, beer soda pong.
There you go. I brought my own paddles. I got my own ping pong paddles. That's how much a ping pong geek I am.
And I brought paper towels just
There
for
you
the
go.
occasion.
Love it.
So where is the
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes we mess things up in life, in love. Sometimes we need to do whatever it takes to bring that love back. And with you, I'll handle it. We need to do whatever it takes to bring that message back together.
Yeah, let's do it.
And you, I'll have to do it.
I got it.
Okay, I think whoever hits it in there got to drink something.
Something about that.
Can they get here?
No.
You see what these. Big fan of that history sheet up there. Dude, nice piece of print there. 2 years ago, my kids got me for Father's Day Scooby-Doo salt and pepper shake. Original menu, not remade like in the 70s. Scooby, salt, and Scooby snacks for the incredible. Ceramic Scooby-Doo salt. Best gifts I ever got. Yeah, look. These beats, this is strong.
Try that. Go up a little more. Trying to get to the cup there.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Which cup? Either one. All right, here we go. All right, ready? Here we go. Ready? Going for it. Here we go. Ooh, close. Oh!
That's amazing.
Sabrina, Nina, Sabrina, Nina, Sabrina, Nina, Sabrina, Nina, Sabrina.
All right, you just missed on diabetes.
Sabrina, Nina, Sabrina, Nina, Sabrina, Nina, Sabrina, Nina, Sabrina, Nina,
Bounce it.
Nina, Sabrina, Nina, Sabrina, Nina, Nina.
Yeah, okay. Tune in.
Everybody's plugs.
Like Sabrina ain't just a
Digging the
beat.
beats. Strong.
She's a
I like
movie.
it. Love it.
Shapes and defines a whole new territory of thunder. Duh, with an A. She ain't about action, she's the ultimate action. Mm-hmm. By the time you gave her direction, she was already there.
Yeah, you don't have a great place to bounce off of. It's hard.
Like Sabrina would dabble into the wells of the he islands. She won't make any promises she cannot. No. She laughs at your stupid titles and names. She rocks the sexuality, mentality, immortality. Black as the definition of death. Black as links and shoes, speaks up. Black stigma as a lecture, as a volume. Nah. Sabrina, Nina, Sabrina, Nina, Black. Sabrina, Nina, Black. Nina, Black. Sabrina, Nina, Sabrina, Nina, Black. Sabrina, Nina. Sabrina, Nina, Sabrina, Nina, Black. Sabrina, Nina, Sabrina, Black. Sabrina, Nina, Sabrina, Nina, Black. Sabrina, Nina. She's phallic, agitated, heat. The aromas of her non-being, inhumanity, unfelt. There are legends of an inner whiteness, brightness, uptightness. Black Sabrina never pushes nor shoves. She's a foot up your ass. She then questions why you walk so funny and utters bitch under her rum tinted breath. Black Sabrina is a poem. She don't give a damn about your disco dancing, designer prancing, show off.
Yeah,
bullshit. She already knows what she's about and what she will always add up to.
Do you want me to take got it? Okay.
Yeah,
I like those beats a lot.
Well, thanks. It's
used to
only,
like CD being that one. So how many minutes did we give? You think we got in for the mix?
honestly, I have to tell you this much. Like, I can do it in my sleep, but I apologize. I've never actually used Newmark at the nature before.
Oh, I know you can. Just
I'm so sorry that I
just
didn't-
trying to let people judge on however time you got on your talent there. For maybe the people that don't know you, and for the people that do, I'm sure they already think you're awesome.
I don't know.
Are you on SoundCloud? How do we find out about your music? How do we
So
get your
here's the
music?
thing. I am part of a resident party. It's at the end of every Friday. I definitely don't always play every Friday. I play
Right.
every couple Fridays. My favorite real life DJ and friend in the world, Brian Boyce.
Okay.
He does the sound there, and he's just like amazing human being and DJ. He is there every week.
Where's this?
At the end of.
Okay.
So
Cool.
that's
Very cool.
You said residency, so that's
Yeah.
that's your spot.
Very
Yeah.
cool. End up right on.
I mean, you're pretty popular, but that's
I don't pretend.
Oftentimes Friday night, she said, right? Friday night.
Yeah, so our part of the party, I am part of but I'm part of whether we don't play or not, and I love supporting my other friends. Brian Boyce is like my main DJ inspiration.
Awesome.
We've been friends for a very long time now, but we used to play music every day together.
So-
And it's just playing music with humans. I'd rather play with multiple people because playing live music with humans is the most amazing experience in the world.
It's more amazing
It's
than
really remarkable.
no music and humans. I think that's what people mean when they say humans suck. Yeah, I get the feeling. But-
Assholes suck, is what.
yeah, I know that's what they mean. And that's what they've encountered.
Just rather
Turn
be
off the
kind.
music and there's a-holes. Or anything. And I'm getting that vibe because turn off the music and they suck. people have tried to make things suck for me many times. They wanted that music to turn off for me. I've been at concerts recently. And
Which
I
one do you
get-
go to?
Clutch. You heard of Clutch?
I'm like I said, I'm
Uh,
kind of oblivious. I'd love to like hear more things.
Well, I mean,
What kind of music is it?
I've been at it was like rock slash metal. I've never heard of them until recently going there. I've heard it's weird. I've heard of the openers, but when I went there, same time like I went to see Anthrax, and
Okay, I can
this
appreciate
happened to me there too, where someone tapped me on like my side. What is that? And well, Anthrax guy told me to sit down. This time, this woman said, pointing
That's
to,
kind of a thing.
pointing to a seat to sit down. It's like you got
Wait, you gotta sit down. Are
you
you
gotta
kidding?
rock out. What you like?
Are you serious?
Yeah, yeah. So like, get up. Don't. Yeah.
Are we at the Apollo? I don't understand.
This is over here. Well, the last one was at the Regency. The other one's at Fox
Regency is
Theater.
a beautiful,
It's just people.
beautiful place.
People want to take out that
Regency is
music.
gorgeous.
You
though.
just rock out. You don't gotta hate on anybody. Boy, they want you to sit down. Keep on rocking. Don't try to fight. Just keep on rocking. You gotta set a good example. So since you came a little late, but you came. You know what's amazing? We could go on forever with these things, and which it shows that you come in. You still got a good amount of time. Let's get two things, and we'll wrap up. Favorite DJs and what got you into doing this DJ thing, and then
Okay.
I don't know what
No
else.
problem. I can give you my
It's-
Cliff Sense version.
Get anything else?
So, I feel like and it's not my original material, but I'm telling you right now, when words fail, music speaks. That's kind of my thing.
Yeah.
And I did not create that myself by no means, but I really feel like that's that. You know what I mean? And I grew up with my little like radio. I grew up my little oldie station when I was a little girl, and to this day I could every word, every word. My heart is in blues and funk, honestly, to tell you the truth.
Okay.
I live for the Gap Band.
Oh, let me see.
No bullshit. On the very top, if not top of my bucket list, is to hang out with Charlie Wilson at least one time. If it kills me, that man's amazing.
Really?
From the Gap Band, for the record, no bullshit. I love funk. Like I truly feel, wherever it's worth, I'm an old gay black man, old enough to like Otis Redding, trapped in this white heterosexual woman's body. That's how I feel.
We're gonna we're gonna move on, but
You know?
I'm gonna remember to hashtag you and everything, Charlie Wilson. It's
I
good.
love.
It's cool.
Come on, who
And,
doesn't love
and if
Charlie
you
Wilson?
could remember this to try to hashtag me and everything, Tom Hanks, because I'm really trying to meet him. Not because he's my favorite celebrity, just because I feel like
May I ask you why?
it's a sign. Look, he's my dad, and
I feel like it's kind
in
of a
reality,
thing.
he is my dad. I've met my dad, and like we've discussed,
Mhm.
nothing like Tom Hanks,
Mhm.
which is probably I believe, my real dad. And then let's wrap.
Quite literally or no?
I just
That's
believe
not my
so.
business.
I just believe so. Maury Povich and Jerry Springer.
But,
Well, Jerry Springer's dead. Maury Povich
is anyone
retired.
not the father kind
So
of
I
thing?
cannot find out if he's really the father until he comes forward. Okay, and then so we're gonna end this with the last question and the last words of what got you into this, and then
I'm sorry. I have a way of just getting sidetracked, but it's like
well,
this.
because we're supposed to end. That's all.
It's my fault.
Uh,
My attention span is that of a gnat. I just get really excited when it comes to music.
Oh, I love that. If we were already, if we started the show,
If I was on time and all the things, understood.
we could do this again.
What got me into this?
Yeah.
Music has always been my jam my whole entire life. It's been the only thing I can commit to. I feel like when I was about 17, 18 years old, I had like I don't know. I was fortunate enough to be around at a time when music was early 2000s was really an incredible time in San Francisco, and it was very impressionable upon me and everything. I've always identified with it, but I had the whole experience. Like it was about love and all everything else, and like
Yeah.
I was fortunate. So what got me into it? I don't know. The kind of like love and experience I had in the early 2000s. I was known I could do the music thing, but I knew it's much bigger than me. I liked it with other people. What got me into it? I used to buy records every single day because when I was like 17 or 18, I met somebody that kind of changed my world like that. I don't know. I don't know how to say what got me into it. I don't really know how to specifically what got me into it, but like what got me into it. Music's been my thing my whole entire life. No matter what was going on with me, I could always default to that. No matter what was happening in my life, I had my little radio. All else failed, that was consistent.
You said something earlier I really like. You said, I think you said, when words fail, music speaks.
Yeah, and
That's
and it's
beautiful.
by no means my original material, but like, you know, it's a universal
true.
language.
This
You know?
this was in a way. I mean, it came a little later, but I gotta say this was the perfect show after having some bumps.
Which is all
So
me.
this was
I
good.
sincerely apologize.
But your addition made it real. Still, it was a very good show. Because you imagine that, like, you were all expressing yourself. Whitney was
all good.
expressing herself.
We got to hear great music.
This was a great vibe.
I'm so fortunate to even be a part of this. Like, honestly, I'm capable of so much more. But I'm so honored, honestly, really, truly, that you even like pick me up because this is truly amazing. And I'm very flattered.
I found a
and
love
it's
for,
very cool.
I found a love for DJs, and it met. I met certain people that made me realize how awesome DJs were, and then
Everyone's a DJ. It
And
depends.
then I came across you, which is like, she's awesome.
No,
wanna
I
support
appreciate that so much. That's so cool. And like, wow, I'm pretty much speechless at this
Since
point.
you came later, let's
This is my
start
fault.
with last words with you, because we're about to end things here. Or is
He is not a happy camera. It's like
No,
this.
it's okay. Sorry.
What?
It's like this. Like
No,
I
that's
am
good, yeah.
so grateful and humbled by this whole experience. Thank you so much for even having me on your show. I just amazed what happens when you come from a place of love and like intent and purpose and kindness. And like I am so blessed.
Yeah, thanks, Paul.
Paul,
Appreciate it.
Paul, all the
Paul.
things you've endured with me in the last 20 minutes, you are the
He's
man.
gonna give up if we don't say this kind of stuff. We gotta.
Listen here,
He's got his camo.
Thanks for having
can't
me.
break up
How
with
do we
me.
keep up with
Paul.
this fall, though?
Paul, we just met. Come on,
Oh,
you can't break
I'm
up with
telling
me
you.
so soon.
Oh no, not so soon.
Thanks
Paul,
for
how do
having
we
me.
keep up with everything we do, but
All right.
I'm having fun. I just want to say thank you for letting me be here. I really enjoyed being here. Everyone, thank you.
Okay. So he does something. Yeah, to end it. Yeah. Oh, what's really happening next week? Something is gonna happen here at 4 p.m. Monday.
There you go.
I like all the things we still do. What you guys?